It's your girl, Amber Rose. You are watching the Big Girl, Big World podcast.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Aaliyia Beauty, and we are back with another episode of the Big Girl, Big World podcast. And as you guys see, we have four bubbles instead of three.
Yes.
So we have a special guest here on the podcast with us today.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes, we do. So, obviously, you know us. We're, the boring ones in this episode. So, obviously, it's Amber Rose here, and
I'm Jerrin Nicole.
exactly. But we also have today
Andrea Rivera.
Rivera.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. So, Andrea is a woman who has dedicated her life to making a positive impact in the world.
I have.
Period. As a diversity, equity, and inclusion manager. Hell yeah.
You got money.
Like, what does that entail?
So right now I work for the state of Massachusetts, and work really with some agencies and really just work on promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion, like you said. But there's a lot more that entails, but I'm gonna let you continue.
She works tirelessly to create inclusive environments where everyone feels valued and respected. Okay, so I know you were born in Puerto Rico. How do you pronounce the place that you were born?
I was born in Caguas.
Okay.
I tried to spell that phonetically, but I don't know how to spell anything phonetically. So I was about to create a new language if I did that.
I didn't want to butcher it because I'm like,
yes, Caguas.
How it's supposed to be pronounced. So, okay, so Caguas, Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Her passion is advocating for marginalized communities, and it stems from her own experience as a domestic violence survivor, which I'm sure we'll probably get into a little bit later. She has become a beacon of hope for others facing similar challenges. In addition to her work in DEI and supporting survivors of domestic violence, Andrea is a strong advocate for body neutrality, which we love that, especially here on the Big Girl, Big World podcast. And body positivity. She believes in promoting self-love and acceptance, encouraging individuals to embrace their bodies just as they are. Andrea's advocacy for body neutrality and positivity serves as an inspiration to many, me included, and reminding people to celebrate uniqueness and beauty. Her unwavering dedication to creating a more inclusive and compassionate world makes her a true force for change and empowerment. And that's the real truth, because it's evident in everything you do, from your job to the platform that you have on
Thank
TikTok.
you so much.
That's literally all you do.
Can I just say that was a bio? Okay.
That was a bio.
If you wrote your bio, can you write mine?
Right.
I was telling Amber that was something that I really struggled with, and it's something that I've continued to struggle with, is how to talk myself up, right? Because we are born with such chips on our shoulder, in the sense of we shouldn't talk about ourselves highly, we shouldn't say kind things about ourselves sometimes, or even gloat, not even gloat, or just say the things that we are doing, things that we are proud of. And it's so hard to write a bio, because of things that we've done. Yeah. It's in our resume.
Especially as women, and women of color especially, we're taught to sit down and dull and not, people see us just stating our accomplishments as bragging.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's hard.
I think it's crazy. I don't know, maybe do more.
Damn right. I love that.
Work harder.
What did Major say? Exactly. I do too much because you don't do enough, honey.
Period.
There we go.
Period.
Love that. So let's get into our weekly check-in. We want to check in on our guests first. How was your week?
My week is kind of crazy. I actually took a flight to Puerto Rico. I'm here for a short time. I don't come here often. Like Amber said, I'm from Caguas, Puerto Rico originally, so all of my family is here. my parents, my brother is here. And so I came down here for like my cousin's baby shower because this is going to be the first great grandchild to be born into the family. So it's
That's
big, momentous. Yeah, super special. It's one of those like steps that you don't want to miss out. And I needed a break from work because your girl is overworked. And sometimes we need to know when to step back and say, I need to relax.
Period.
So I'm doing phenomenal now that I'm like here reconnecting and like kind of sowing my oats with my family and just being.
Okay.
That's
That's beautiful.
That's
I do have a
beautiful.
question though before we even move on to all of us. What brought you to like this like stateside for
Yeah, so for me, it's kind of a crazy, and every time I say it, everyone is kind of shell shocked, but it stems from my dad. So my dad is a chemical engineer turned lawyer. And when he finished his studies here and started his practice, he kind of was still in chemical engineering. So he was kind of taken to Pennsylvania with Johnson and Johnson at the time. So I was probably 4 when we were relocated. Lived in Pennsylvania for 5 years, moved back to Puerto Rico for another 6 to 10 years. I always say the grades because I get it confused. So like third grade to ninth grade was in Puerto Rico, and then
Oh, okay.
10th to 11th was in Orlando, and then I came back to Puerto Rico for my senior year.
Wow.
So I kind of have moved all over the place, and then my undergraduate degree is from Iowa, so kind of crazy. I know.
That's
The
a
Midwest.
great experience.
Iowa
I
is
went from
crazy.
all of the West, East Coast, South to the Midwest.
To literally probably the middle of nowhere where there's just like corn and fields of nothing.
Accurate representation. Thankfully, I was more into like a smaller city side. I was like 2 hours away from Chicago. Thankfully, that was the only saving grace.
Okay.
So it was a better experience than probably people that went to I'm gonna say it, Graceland University.
Okay.
Because they recruited a shit ton of people from Puerto Rico and they had a bad time.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a crazy experience. That's like one that you can really speak on and say like you had experience in Puerto Rico and then in the US all over. So that's amazing. I'm jelly.
Yeah. I mean, I think it really helped me. It helped me come out of my shell 1,000%. I think it helped me see so many different communities as well, which is why like I'm so passionate in the work that I do. And so I think that that has helped me become the human that I am today.
I love that.
I
Yeah.
have one more question.
Yeah.
How was school? How was your like experience from school in Puerto Rico to school in Orlando? Because you said you went to Orlando around like 9th or like 10th, right?
Yeah. That one was like the biggest transition, I think. Um, when I went to school 10th and 11th, that was what I was probably turning 16 and 17 those years. Um, you kind of think that those years are kind of your formative years. The first year that I was there, I was at the same school the first 2 years, or the 2 years that I was there. The first year, we were overpopulated at the school. Like, we were a school of 4,400 students, and it was packed. And at this point in time, too, because we were overpopulated, this was like my quintessential experience of like cliques. I had never experienced that ever anywhere because in Puerto Rico, kind of the norm to go to school is private education because the public school system here is really lacking, unfortunately, because of government. And so my parents did a really good job in putting me and my 2 siblings in private school, and they worked really hard for us to get a great education. And when you go to private education, you kind of grow up with the same group of kids. So like you're in pre-K to 12th grade in the same school. Like there's no like dividing of schools, kind of like in the States where like elementary school is one school and then like once you're done with that school, you're done with that and you go to middle school. Like it wasn't like that. Like one campus goes from pre-K to senior year. So you're there like your whole life. And so it was a really big, drastic experience to go to Orlando. And it was probably like my second time experiencing getting called out of like my race, my ethnicity, like the racial slurs, all that stuff. Like my first time was back in Jersey where my grandma was living at the time, and that was like when I was super young. And so that was like more of my experience with my hair. So it was like a lot to like take in that year for sure.
That's interesting that you say that. And then coming to the States, and it's when you're noticing like the clicks and people calling you out for being different. And I just remember 2 episodes, or maybe the last episode, we were just talking about insecurities form from people telling you that you're different. You know, you don't really notice that when you're in your house. So as soon as you go out the house, hey, you have curly hair, or you're
Yep.
bigger than this person. So that's wow.
Yeah. And I always go back to kind of the Selena movie where her dad goes, "You're too Mexican for the white people and you're too white for the Mexican people." That was kind of my experience, like moving back and forth. Like I moved here and I was too white for the Puerto Rican people, even though I had grown up here, like all that stuff. And then when I would move over there, it was like I was an alien.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's, I feel like that's a universal experience.
Yeah.
I can tell this episode's gonna be good.
Me too.
Me too.
So,
Do you guys want to say what you had going on this week though first before we really get into it?
Girl, I ain't did nothing but eat some Zaxby's.
Okay, I've heard of this place and it sounds good. Like, where can I go? I've never been.
Oh my God.
I need to travel to this
Yeah,
location.
they have it in New England.
They do
there's
not.
usually Zaxby's in the South.
Yeah, Zaxby's.
That's a Southern thing.
Y'all got Raising Cane? Oh, never
We got Raising Canes. We just got it.
Okay.
We just got a Raising Cane's.
Just imagine Raising Cane's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like Raising Cane's, but at Zaxby's they have like fried pickles. They have like cheddar bites. They got, you can like dip your tenders.
It's a broader menu.
I'm
You
so
can like dip your
you had
tenders
me
in
at fried
like.
pickles, girl.
Okay, girl, y'all gonna have to come. Y'all gonna have to come to the South, and y'all gonna have to get Zaxby's.
We're making a road trip.
Swear to God, my mom lives in Georgia. We can stay with her.
And we gonna have to get y'all. Let me tell you, when you go to Zaxby's, I don't know if any of my Southern people is watching. If you go to Zaxby's, you got to get your tenders dipped in a hot honey mustard sauce. Oh Lord, that thing will have you levitating.
What?
I don't know, whoever is not watching us and is only listening to us, Amber and I just made the craziest face.
Where?
Well, not levitating.
Hurt, nothing like that.
Yeah, I feel like Dua Lipa when you eat it. It make you want to levitate.
Dula Peep.
Yes. That's
all okay, well, I don't know if my experience is as tasty as that, but I just had a normal chill week, still looking for jobs, still getting, acquainted with my new marriage. I mean, it's really not that different. I just have something to say now. But yeah, like I said, the last couple weeks, couch potatoing, to the core.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah, I wish I was couch potatoing, honestly. I just started my second term of grad school. I'm in misery. I hate this term. It's so hard. There's a lot of partner work. There's a lot of like actual skills that we're working on. Like videos have to get recorded and then the professor grades them, but it's really hard because we're teaching ourselves the skills. So it's like, you're grading me on something I'm teaching myself. And I also got a dog. So bitch, I'm a mother.
Yes.
No drama.
And I love him already. He's such a sweet boy. He's starting to lean more towards being a mama's boy. He's literally laying right next to me right now.
Period.
But me and my boyfriend are mother and father. And I couldn't be happier.
Period.
Especially that it's not a real human.
We love it.
Period.
Dogs are easier.
I told my mom called me today, and I was like, this is the only grandkid you finna get. So,
girl, you better say
you better enjoy it.
I told my mama I was gonna get a fish, and I told her the same thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really want kids, but I love messing with my parents and being like, you know what, deciding not to do it. Full feminism. No, I'm just kidding. But I just did that today, and they were like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm just kidding. It's gonna happen
Yeah.
eventually."
I told my mom the same thing. I said, girl, you're not getting no grandkids, no time soon. I said, unless you want to call this little fish, I'm gonna get your grandchild. That's all you get.
Period.
But yeah, y'all, we're gonna get into a little icebreaker. As you guys see, we're already cackling, so we really don't need to break the ice too much. The ice is already broken a little bit. It's giving crack. So we have a game that I made up. I don't know if it's a real game, but it's called categories. So I'm gonna say, uh, I'm gonna say like just a category. Just say like if it's favorite movie. You got to say what's the first thing that come to your head when you think about your favorite movie.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we're gonna go in order. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be Amber. Then it's gonna be Andy. Can I call you Andy?
Yes, of course, please.
Okay. Call you Andy, and then Jerrin. So we're gonna do it like that. We have 4 of these rounds. So we're gonna get into it. So the first one is celebrity crush. I say Renee Rapp because I love that woman.
Oh, I'm gonna say Rihanna.
I'm gonna say Kaylani.
I mean, yeah.
That's my
She the
other one
second
too.
one.
Yeah.
She the second one. She the second one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Desmond Idris. I like my men dark and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Period. So the second category is favorite clothing brand. So
Ooh.
my favorite clothing brand right now, it's giving Eloquy and it's giving Pretty Little Thing. I just cannot choose which one. But it's really leaning towards Eloquy if I had more money.
Okay, period. I'm gonna say Pretty Little Thing as well, but I'm also gonna say Giddy because they be ambassadoring me.
Period.
Okay.
As you should. I'm gonna say I'm stuck. I'm gonna say what like I last purchased, which is Savage X Fenty.
Her.
We love a little
Love
savage.
it.
And I'm gonna say Fashion Nova.
Oh,
Nova girly.
Okay, Nova
Nova
girl.
Slick never gets old, honestly.
Period.
Staple.
They're the
It
most
is.
like current, like keep up with the fashion trends.
Yeah.
And
And they honor all bodies.
My
Mhm.
next one that I want to like try and that I'm committed that I need to like save up money for is Reb Dolls, especially because they just came out saying
Right,
that like their whole warehouse has
right.
been like missing or like they
Yes.
lost their whole shipment. Like we really need to support this like
I've
small
done a
own.
couple
Oh,
brand things with Red Dolls, and their clothes are so good, and most of them are so high quality.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know something was going on with them. I just saw, I know like the creator or the founder of Red Dot, she's on TikTok. I follow her. She's really cool. I didn't know that was going on.
Yeah, like one of
Yeah.
their suppliers is like withholding all of their inventory, so they like don't
95% of
have
it.
their inventory right
yeah.
now.
Or
So
not,
like right
yes,
now they're
95
just
or
doing
99%.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like right now they're just doing like small like time capsules. So like they're doing like the spring collection right now and like they're almost like doing like on a pre-order status.
Oh, they doing a resort. They got a resort collection coming out
Yeah.
that's out right
Yeah,
now. It's so cute.
it's so good.
I love rib dolls. Um, so the next one is we already know Andy is a exercise girl. She's a workout girl, and I'm
Try
trying to get
try.
into that gym just a tad bit, just a tad bit. So the next category is favorite workout machine.
Ooh.
So
None of
as
them.
for me, I'm a basic hoe. Give me that treadmill. It'll do what it
Okay.
needed. It'll do what it needs to do.
Period.
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 It's a
Right.
classic.
It is.
I'm gonna say the leg press.
That's a good one.
I love me a
That's
leg
a
press.
good one. I wow. I love anything leg, but if I have to do anything cardio, elliptical. Like that's
Okay.
been like my motivation this like past like week and a half, even month. Elliptical has
Okay.
been like on my to-do list.
Good for
Mhm.
you. I can't stand that hoe.
I'm gonna say Stairmaster when I get
Oh,
extremely brave.
let me tell you about that. That's the devil. That Stairmaster is the devil.
Oh, for sure.
The first time I
Got
went
me
to the
clutching my
gym,
pearls over here.
the
But I
first
love
time I
feeling the burn like a day or two after. It just, yeah, it just makes me feel like I'm doing so much. I'm, making my body feel good. So I love feeling that burn. How
Jerrin,
does
I can't even feel the burn because every time I try to get on that Stairmaster, I fall off of it. I done went to the gym on 4 different occasions, and I tried to get up on that Stairmaster, and it said no. I done been ducked off like it. I done been hit off like I was like that was a bull or something. Then I'm in the middle of the workout. I'm on the floor. Everybody in the gym done stop their workout trying to help me. I'm over here. I'm
no,
all right. I'm okay. I'm
The
all right,
Stairmaster has
guys.
a temperament. It has a temperament.
Oh, and then my friend is of the devil a little bit too. I'm on the Stairmaster. It's going point 0.5. I said, that's enough for me, right? I finally got on it. That's enough for me. This girl going to hype it up to me. She said, Leah, this is too slow. She hit it 1.5. Done fell off it again. I can't do the Stairmaster at all.
Oh
Mm-mm.
No, if there's
no! Don't
anything
be
that
a
I can say
stairmaster.
about like the Stairmaster, like use it as like slow as possible and like just grow with it. As like time
Yes.
progresses, like you grow with it. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. So our fourth category is favorite drink. This could be cocktail, this could be water, this could be any type of drink. What's your favorite drink? I'm gonna say mine. I am an espresso martini girl,
Okay.
so give me that every time I go out.
Okay. I'm a water girl, but if I'm like doing a drink, it's gonna be a strawberry margarita
Ooh,
with
Ooh.
give me
sugar
one
on it.
margarita. I'm gonna open my lip.
I'm a tequila girl, so I go for anything like a spicy margarita, but
Mm.
being in Puerto Rico right now, I would do a mojito because truly I
Oh,
can't get a good mojito anywhere else but on the island.
oh,
Ooh.
mojitos are really freaking good.
Yeah.
Mm. All of that sounds good. I think just on a regular day basis, iced tea, sweet tea,
Oh,
with like the flavoring
Mm.
in it, or it can be just plain sweet tea. And then if I'm trying to get, sexy reddish, anything,
Hellcat SRT.
anything.
Okay.
Period.
Ooh, speaking of sexy red, I just love that woman. I, I just love that woman, y'all. I am not. When I say I am on my classy era, but every time Sexy Red come on, I do feel that. I do feel that ski.
And
Yep.
that's
I do.
and that's okay.
Like I feel it in my bones. I don't understand why.
you're meant to. That's
That
Yeah,
part.
yeah,
why. Yeah.
yeah. It just shows me that girl is still in me a little bit.
Oh, and she
As
will
she
always
always
be.
be.
Always will be.
Always. We nurture that one.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So let's get into why we're
The
here.
nitty gritty.
Andy, I
Period.
hope you're ready for the questions we're about to be throwing at you.
I'm
I
ready.
know.
Mm.
Cause we're
We've been
curious.
yes, we've been on your Instagram, your TikTok, and we were like looking at your videos. So we came up with a couple questions. I'm
Alrighty.
gonna get into the first one, which is what has been your experience being on both the smaller spectrum versus the plus size spectrum, and just tell us about that because we were kind of talking about it the other day, and we was like, that's a really good question for those of us that fluctuate.
Yeah, I think for me, living in a smaller body was a very limited amount of time for me. And not limited amount of time, but I just equate it to having lived in a bigger body for my whole life, right? I lost about 100, I want to say around 130 to 150 pounds in the pandemic, which was truly kind of my beginner status of like me uploading on TikTok and starting to talk about it. And the reasoning behind that was obviously moving to Massachusetts, leaving a domestic violence situation. There was a whole lot of chaos in my life, and I just wanted to become healthier. Whether it at the moment was for the right reasons, I can probably tell you possibly not, right? We have different ways of coping, but I think at that point in time when I had lost the weight, and I lost it very rapidly, I lost that amount of weight in about 10 months.
Oh, wow.
It was it was interesting. It was almost as if I was finally seen. Questions that weren't the norm before, or were the norm before, aren't the norm anymore. Um, the experience going into the mall was so different. And for the longest time, I was buying clothes that were too big for me. And I was just like, how do I shop for myself when I have lost all this weight? And I went from a size 2X, which was like 18, 20, and almost getting to the 20 mark, to going down to a size small. And it was such a
Wow.
drastic difference that I didn't know how to like shop for myself. Jean size went from 18, 20 to literally a size 8 at a certain point, and I just was kind of thrown into this chaos of like weight loss and health and all that stuff. And so my experience being at a larger size was that weight was always a part of the conversation, whether that was at mealtime, whether that was being called out during recess, because that my first experience was while I was moving here, right? And my bully, like, and I don't say bully because obviously it was from guys that like just were boys. And boys should not just be boys. Boys should be reprimanded and taught from an early age how to treat women correctly and just to treat humans correctly.
Because
But
most
Period.
of the time it's big anyway.
correct.
Period.
But for
Yes.
me, like my nickname was Bola de Grasa, which was like a ball of fat. That's what they would call me on the play yard. And
Oh,
I'd be like,
hell
what
no.
the heck? Right? And like as you're growing, and I was probably one of the most developed at the time in my school. I wasn't at the size that I was at now. So like why was it equated to my size. It was a lot of conversation of like, if you don't do it now, when you are 30 or when you are this age, it'll become a problem. And you're like, I just want to exist. Like, how do I, as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, how is it that a conversation like this is at the age of 8, 9, 10 starting already? And now it's when you start unpacking it, right? But when you're that young, you don't know it. And so I think
Mhm.
there's a lot of still healing that I'm still doing with like my family, and I'm so grateful that I have such a supportive family, my tight unit, and that I have conversations, right? And I can talk deeply about like these are things that hurt me and why. Because if not, that's just going to linger on and just unwaver like our experience and like familial ties. Which I think that is also appropriate, right? If you are having a relationship with someone that is not serving you, whether it is a family member or not, you need to be responsible enough to say, I need to step away.
Yes.
And that's
Wow.
okay.
Period.
And can I just say, I wanted to ask you this question so bad because I'm kind of going through the same thing right now. I'm at the like lowest I've ever been. I'm a size 14 right now, 14, 16. And going from like you said, going from like a 4X to like being a size 14 now, and then like going to the mall or shopping online, you're like buying clothes that are too big for you. Because I remember going home and my parents would be like, why do you look like that? And a lot of times it was because I was wearing too big of clothes, and you just look different. People are used to seeing you look a certain way.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, because yeah, I'm kind of currently going through that right now. Thanks for
Yeah.
your insight.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think it's important that we, as a community, right, we need to start seeing each other as we are and not isolate each other into little pods of like mid-size this, plus size this. It's so isolating already from the community that we are in. And so why not build each other up on just existing? And I think it's
Yes.
really tough already as it is for the pressures that we have. The diet culture that so many of us, right? The 90s were heavy on the diet culture and still today, right? It's
Mhm.
seeped. But I still remember the 90s being so fanatic about
Yeah.
Mary Kate and Ashley
Heroin
and the
chic.
Mishka Barons and like all these people that were like anorexic, right? And that weren't healthy. and that needed help, that desperately probably were going through so many difficult things that needed help therapeutically and from families, and then they were just exploited. And that was what was being told that we needed to consume and idolize and become. And it's really tough to like kind of gauge that.
Yeah. And I feel like so much of what you just talked about is like the universal experience of just being like a plus size person, and especially being a plus size woman. And like many of us, I think we talked about this in the womanhood episode that's coming out next week. Many of us developed early. So it was like I got my period at 9. I developed a body. I started gaining weight in certain places early, and then that was like a signal to everyone around me that you're different, you're big, there's something wrong with you, like you're bigger than all of us. And I went to a predominantly white school my entire life. So I was one of the only people of color in my graduating class, and I was surrounded by like stick thin, tiny little white girls that I looked completely different than. And it was like such a jarring experience too, like when I lost weight, because I lost like almost 100 pounds or over 100 pounds, and I got down to a size 14 from like a size 20, and I got talked to out in public. Like I would go to a CVS and people were like, "Oh wow, like you're really pretty," or like, "You have really pretty eyes," or "You have this," or "You have that," and I was getting treated completely different, and I felt like seen for the first time in my life. Like people were seeing me how I had always seen myself,
Yeah.
and then I gained weight again, and I went back to the other side of that spectrum, and like all of the stuff that I had experienced smaller, I don't really look that different. I just have more like weight on me, and I see the complete like 180 again of what life is like now.
And that's the really tough part of like that fluctuation. Like once you lost it and gain it, or gain a little bit, gain it back, whatever it is, right? My case, I gained it all back because I just didn't do it the appropriate way or just the healthy way. I did it in a lot of starvation modes, which is not okay. And really, your body is desperate for calories and just needing to eat and nourish your body. That is the number one goal, right? You should nourish your body when it needs to be nourished. And it was so desperately seeking out for sources of energy that it just was depleted. And so it's hard when like you've gained it all back, how you're treated again, and just like how isolating it is again. And you're like, whoa, I was just a human a year ago, and now I'm back to the conversation of my weight.
Weight
Okay.
this, weight that, weight this, weight that. Yeah. And it's also jarring. Like it makes you, it almost, because I have an ED and I like would cope emotionally with food. So then it was like I got back up there, and you feel some type of way about being back up there and the way that people are treating you. And then you just start coping with food again, and it creates
It's a
the
vicious
same
cycle.
problem that you were just in. It's such a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Like literally when y'all are talking, I'm just thinking about in my own life. Like I feel like a lot of the things that happen is like because people are focused on my weight or focused on how I look or something. I said on a couple episodes ago that I had this situation at work where there was a person that was like skinnier than me, that's really small. She was able to pick up a box. That was something, but I couldn't pick it up, and they felt like I should be able to pick it up because I'm bigger. And it's just like that's not the case. Like just because I'm bigger don't mean I'm hella strong. So it's just like it's so crazy that we have to go through like just life and just existing. Everything is like on our way. Everything is on our way. Everybody is talking about our way, or
Yeah.
all our decisions are affected by our weight. Or I want to go to Disney World, but I can't go to Disney World because am I gonna be able to fit in this? Am I gonna be able to fit in this this ride? Or I can't do this, or am I gonna be able to do all this? Like it's just so crazy to me.
Yeah. Everything is a judgment.
And just imagine being a woman, then being a woman of color, being plus size, and then add all the other things that make us different on top of that. Whew, what did she say? It's a double homicide. But
Double homicide.
Double homicide.
but this
Actually,
is
it's a triple
why
homicide.
Yep.
this is why I think plus size women are one of the strongest women, the most confident women in the world, because you grow up with all these things just being against you, people talking down on you, and it's always involving your weight. It doesn't matter if you're academically like a smart person or you're good at this. It's always going to be surrounded around your weight.
Yeah.
So I think plus size women are the best. They're so confident, and I don't think that makes it better. But I just want you to know, if you're watching this, you're plus size, or if you're not, you're just so strong. And continue to look up to people like this on our podcast. Andy and other people, she makes content that is here for you. That if you want to lose weight, do it in a healthy way, you know? So don't feel the pressures of trying to succumb to society. It's just will go around. It just will go down wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she said, though.
100%.
So
I think that kind
Andy,
of brings me. Oh, sorry, what?
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think that kind of brings me to like the next question of like, what are you doing differently in this phase of like your health journey? Because I've been following you for a while. We've been mutuals for a while.
Yes.
And like, I know I was kind of there as you were getting down to that smaller size, and like through getting back up to like a certain size, I noticed that you have said that you're trying to do things a little bit differently because you weren't doing them in the right way before. So like, kind of, what are you doing differently in this phase of your fitness journey that you weren't doing before, or what did you do then that you've kind of let go of?
Yeah, I think in my first go around of things, um, restriction was at the core of things. Restriction, putting a window on when I was going to eat. It really isolated my experience as a human as well, because I would be invited to certain things, social gatherings with friends, and I'd be like, I can't eat, guys. It's past the window of my time to eat. Or I can't drink alcohol. And not that you can't, right, abstain. I think that you have to make a personal choice in your life whether you consume whatever thing that you are consuming. But I think for myself, those social gatherings where I was being able to participate, I wasn't participating fully to the extent, because for me and in my culture, right, and I think that maybe a lot of y'all can echo this, food is a part of our culture. It is a part of our gatherings. It is a part of the core of our meetings. There's lineage, there's so much to our like gatherings and our essence, right? And like when I think about saying, oh, I can't participate, and like if I were to say like I'm coming for Christmas but I can't eat past 7 o'clock, but like it's something that we're doing, like we do like caroling here, which is called a trulla, and like we eat sancocho and like all this stuff, which is like gumbo and soup and all that stuff, and I'm gonna abstain because I can't eat at midnight. It's a lot. And so I think for this time around, I don't have a window to eat. If I feel like there's a hunger cue, I feed it. I don't overeat. I try to make sure that if I have a triggering situation, because I do still have them, right? No matter how many years go by from any part of my trauma, there will still be times that I'm triggered, and food is my coping mechanism. It will always be. And for me, it is binge eating, and it's eat till you'll drop and until you feel unhealthy. And that's really hard because it's still not seen as one of those like classic EDs. And it's really hard because all you want is kind of a diagnosis to help you out. And you're kind of stuck like a floating boat in the middle of the sea and being like, okay, I guess I'm the only one going through this, which is not true, because obviously we're here on a podcast and I just had 3 women point to themselves saying, that's my experience.
Yeah, literally. I just got
So,
officially diagnosed with like bulimia nervosa this year because they were telling me that like while I do binge eat, I go through periods of like restriction. So like I'll binge eat and then I just won't eat anything because I of what I just binge ate. And they said that there's almost like a loophole that you can
yeah.
like go through with like, because there's periods of restriction afterwards, it's technically bulimia. It's not just binge eating. And that can also make you like go even further up in weight and balloon in weight, because you're not just binge eating, you're binge eating and then you're restricting your body,
Yeah.
which makes it go into survival mode. So if you're really looking for a diagnosis and that sounds similar to you, I would go talk to someone and like maybe be like, hey, this came across my desk.
Right.
And I think that I fit in with this, and this is kind of something that I talk about, because a lot of insurances won't do anything for just a binge eating diagnosis. Even if you
Right.
get diagnosed, a lot of insurances are not going to be like, oh yeah, we'll pay for your treatment for a binge eating disorder, because like you said, they don't qualify it as one that's important enough to pay for treatment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
So
gonna
yeah,
ask
I
you.
think I
Sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Jerry.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, and then I'll ask another question.
No, I was just gonna say, I think that that's the biggest difference is just, hunger cues are important, making sure that the triggers aren't things that are crippling for me, making sure that, for me, a goal this year is to find proper therapeutic practices, and not to just go on WebMD or to just be like, I'm gonna talk to a friend and have them help me cope, because that also is, not a waste of resource, right? Because I think you build your community up to the place of they are your unit to help you. But at a certain point in time, right, you need to put in the work with professionals. And everyone should gather a professional person to help them and sort their life into little pockets and destigmatize therapy. Because trust me, I would not be here if it weren't for that month intensive that I did once I got off the plane after my domestic violence situation.
Mm-hmm. It's so necessary. It's so necessary. And like my therapist this year sent me in the direction of a dietitian, because I can go on the internet and find all these things where it's like, okay, these are all the foods you need to eat, and these are the
Yeah.
superfoods that are good for you, and this is all the stuff. But I need something that's geared towards my body and my needs and
Yeah.
my eating disorder and what I can and cannot do. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, count your calories. And I'm like, if I count my calories, I'm going to turn into a head case, and it's going
Yeah.
to be a problem.
Exactly.
So I just
Ooh.
recently found a dietitian that's like added to my professional team, that's helping me to heal my eating disorder in another way. That's not just like be mentally
Yeah.
and emotional.
Yeah. And like I think that that's a great like point to that you have been a part that you have a dietitian, right? Because for me, I need a break from that. I started
Okay.
off with a dietitian at like age 9 and had a
Okay.
nutritionist from like 9 till I want to say 15. And
Oh,
even when I came back to Puerto Rico, like still had a dietitian on and off, like that would change my meals even in the cafeteria room. So even that was isolating for me to even have like
okay.
a different meal than everyone else. So I think it's really important that like folks that are listening understand that everyone's journey is different, right? Even as though we are a community and we are listening and we hear our stories within each other, it's still a very separate journey that you individually are having that you need to figure out what triggers you. Because just because I have gone through domestic violence and I have an eating disorder with binge eating and I have gained the weight back, that does not mean that your daily life struggles don't play into effect, right? That does not discredit your own struggle. That does not discredit your own baggage of trauma. So I think that that's really important to encompass that folks need to really like figure out what they need, create a game plan, and do it step by step to not get overwhelmed.
That was good. Do what works best for you is what I heard.
Yes.
Yes.
But my
Period.
question was gonna be, do you have any advice for the binge eaters? How do we? Because I will binge down, okay, until there's nothing.
Me too.
And it's something like you already said. All of us already agreed. It's something that I've struggled with my whole entire life. So do you have any advice for the binge eaters? How can we overcome that and kind of like limit that?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is finding a routine. Finding a routine for yourself on a daily like day um, is important because so many of us leave school and then we're just dropped off. in different sectors, right? You went to college, you didn't go to college, you decided to go to community college, whatever the case may be, you started to work. And we had such routine lives in high school, in middle school, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., like so structured. And then you kind of get let loose, especially like for those folks that went to a college campus. We get let loose on a college campus. We then are living away from our family. We are given all of this, like, just all this time in the world that we were just like, oh, I only have 2 classes on Monday, Wednesdays, and no classes on Fridays. Okay, great. I have all the time in the world to do anything that I want. So I think finding structure in your schedule is really important and crucial. I think number two, I think folks are afraid of journaling, or just writing down your thoughts. I think when you are starting to get overwhelmed with that feeling or that urge, start writing down how you feel. And that might seem kind of cringe. I will hear folks will say, that's so cringy behavior, or I can't do that. I promise you, sit down. And even if you have a regimented journal, which like I created one that was I tried to make it as easy as possible so that like it was almost like filling in the blanks, coloring in spaces that you like could let loose of like how you were feeling that day, because it's important to kind of connect with yourself. We go on such regimented routines and crazy lifestyles that if we don't check in with ourselves, then we're not doing the work. I think the second or third part of just making sure that you're on the right path with your like binging, or if you're feeling like a binge moment. And again, I'm not a professional, so seek professional help. But for me, what works is that I like to volume eat things that don't have a shit ton of calories. But then again, like, right, that's the double-edged sword of like, do I look at calories and not? But I think, as you know, veggies and fruits are always going to be great foods. You need sugars, you need fiber, you need all those things. Add those to your snacks. Get your protein fix. Your protein is really important for you to feel satiated. So cheeses, any type of cured meats, if you like your mozzarella with your prosciutto, have it with a little bit of crackers on the side, with a little bit of grapes. Like, you can still live a bougie charcuterie lifestyle and still be satiated and feel happy within your body.
I love a
Yeah.
charcuterie board. I love a charcuterie board.
I was literally just talking, and like, I think also, like, every dietitian is made different, and it's important, just to bring it back to that, it's important to find someone that aligns with your philosophy and
Yes.
aligns with the goals that you have in mind for yourself. And like, my dietitian is very like, I'm here for you, and I'm just here to introduce you to foods that you can have, foods that you enjoy. I'm just here to introduce you to foods that have like higher nutritional value so that you can implement them into the diet that you already have.
Yes.
And I found out I wasn't eating enough calories. So she
Yeah.
was like, you need to be eating, even to account for like weight loss if I wanted to. She was like, you need to be eating 2,200 calories a day.
Yeah.
And so she was like, that means breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. And I was like,
Exactly.
what? Because
Imagine
I
that. And
like,
I was literally, when I was on my weight loss, like I was probably eating 1,200 to 1,500 calories, which is not safe.
see, that's not safe,
Which
and
is
that's so
not
not
safe.
good for you. Yeah.
You
So
wait, wait,
now
wait. Go back. You said 1,200.
to 1,500
That's
calories a
that's
day.
basically the caloric value that like little kids have to eat.
Yes. That's what I was
That's
eating in
Y'all,
high
literally.
school when I was
it's
like
so
in
crazy.
a bad
That's
place.
my thing on my fitness pal. That's my calorie goal.
That's not good. That is not
No.
good. Especially like if you weigh more, the amount of
You
calories
still
that
need
you
more
need, that amount, you
because you
need
burn
more
more.
calories. Yes. You need more calories even to account for weight loss. Like, I'm eating 2,200 calories, and that's
Yeah.
accounting for like slow weight loss.
Yeah.
Because, like she said, the less calories you eat when you need more, some kind of way, your body will hold on to the less calories that
Yes.
you eat.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to like work out and get healthy and lose
Yeah.
weight, kind of thing,
Yes.
you won't be doing that because your body will hold on to those nutrients.
Yeah.
Correct. And even
And
my
that's all
dietitian said
fat that
like,
stores,
exactly. And my dietitian
because the
said, like,
fat
when
is the
you work
energy.
out, you need to eat more after you work, because you have to be within that calorie count. Because if you're working out and then you're losing that amount of calories, you're under the amount of calories you need to be eating in order for your body to function properly. So
You know what?
I've noticed that like eating the amount that I'm supposed to be eating during the day, that my body needs during the day, makes me not want to binge as much because my body's consistently satiated in the way that it needs to be satiated. So I don't have that desire to like grub because I'm not under the amount of calories that my body needs, and I feel satisfied with what I'm being given.
Ooh, we. Yeah. Ooh, not your preaching to me. Ooh, cause baby, but but like I was saying in the last episode, like this year is my year of. I was pushing like going to the doctor. You know, sometimes it's plus size women you don't want to go to the doctor, especially because you feel like every time you go to the doctor they're gonna be like, you need to lose weight. The reason your feet hurt cause you need to lose weight. No, it's cause I got a little something. You know. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go to the doctor a little bit more. I've been trying to find like a nutritionist and a dietitian. Um, just because I'm in a crazy position where I have PCOS, so I have a high testosterone, but my hormones is high, and I also have like IBS and all this stuff, but my vitamin D deficiency is absolutely low. Like you said, like my doctor told me like my body is supposed to be at like a 50 with the vitamin D. I'm at a 7. So my body barely has any vitamin D. So I'm definitely in the process of I'm trying to find a dietitian, find a nutritionist because the stuff that I need to eat for the vitamin D is the stuff I can't have because of IBS. So it's kind of like I gotta find something to eat.
I will
And it,
say, melanated people, even when they're eating, and I'm telling you, I'm learning so many facts this year because I'm also trying to get my health right. Melanated people, even when they're eating foods that have vitamin D, still need to be taking a vitamin D supplement because melanated people are less likely to produce the amount of vitamin D that they need. Like, we are not able to produce as much vitamin D. So regardless of how much food you're eating that has vitamin D in it, you'll probably still need to supplement more in order to truly get the amount of vitamin D that you actually need.
yeah, she has me on. She said the max vitamin D supplement I'm supposed to be taking. I'm taking that for 3 months, and then we're gonna do some more testing to see how my body is absorbing the vitamin D. But y'all, this is a PSA. Go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor.
Go get yourself checked
And
out.
like, find a doctor that isn't going to shame you for where you're at. Find a doctor that's going to understand where you're at and just do what they need to do to make you healthier. Actually.
Nah, I can't count me and my. I'm still trying to find that me and my doctor had a little, you know, because I just hate because even though I did like y'all, I did the blood work and everything. I'm going on a rant, but I did the blood work and everything was absolutely. She was like, your pain. It was like your liver. Everything is your liver is fine. Your pancreas is fine. Like all of your vital organs, everything is coming out fine. And then she was like, I don't think it was high was my testosterone level. This lady gonna still tell me, well, I still think you need to lose weight, girl. I said, girl. I almost told her, girl, I said, I'm not losing no weight. I was like, that's why I want to call Amber so bad. I almost had to set up an appointment with Amber. I was like, this bitch is tripping.
It's about being healthy. And healthy looks like so many different things for so many different people. So you're healthy, like internet doctors can't tell you nothing.
And then she tried to insinuate that I did not go to the gym because I was bigger. And I was like, girl, I go to the gym 3 times a week. And I'm like, so what you have to say to that? What you have to say?
It's truly the judgment.
That's my least favorite assumption from anybody. From anybody is like, go run. I saw that TikTok that you made the other day where they were like, go run, and it was just a compilation of you running on the treadmill in multiple different outfits.
Test me.
So like, bitch, I do run, bitch. fuck
I'm
you.
like,
Like,
test
I'm
me because I will
actually
show you.
I'm
swear to
actually an
God.
aborted athlete. So
Like, it's
Mm.
my least favorite assumption. Like, I did sports my entire life. That doesn't mean that I'm not a big bitch. Like, that just means I'm a
Hmm.
big bitch in sports. I don't know. Like,
Right. Exactly. The doctor's gonna have to. I feel like the doctors now they need to get they ish together. They need to start
swear.
telling them why they getting their PhD. You gonna have about some other. Okay, everything is not on weight. There could be something else wrong other than
Correct.
has anything that has to do with like the weight.
Correct. Andy, do you have PCOS as well?
I do. So my PCOS was diagnosed when I was in Iowa, that was a whole interesting bunch because when that was I want to say my last year or 2 years before I left Iowa, but I
Okay.
had first gone to gynecologist there, and this was when I was first getting checked out to make sure everything's okay. I'm engaged at this point. And I'm like, I just want to make sure I can get babies. I want to have babies with my man. And I want to make sure that everything is good. And I go to the doctor and they tell me, you have PCOS and you'll never have kids. That's essentially what they told me. Flat
Oh,
out.
And
They were like, you're
that's
never going to
so
have
fucked
that's
kids.
up because
not
that's not
okay.
true.
Right.
clutching
And
my
so,
invisible pearls.
exactly. And so I was like, I left shattered. I left shattered and broken because right I came up all my life saying I want kids, I want to be a wife, I want to be a mother, all these things, and I come home and I share that news, and there wasn't really much emotion at this point. We weren't living together. I worked at a Catholic university, so you know
Yeah.
living together
Mm-hmm.
was not an option. And they paid for my housing, so we were not crossing that line. But when he came to visit, and I had mentioned it, it was almost like there was no emotion behind it. But then when the abuse started, it was the first thing that was called out. And it was the first thing
Oh,
of like, the only purpose that you have in this life is to be a mother, and you can't even do that.
Yeah.
that makes
Um,
me want to fucking explode.
That
Holy
makes my
shit.
ass itch.
Yeah. And
Oh
so it was
no.
really hard to kind of leave Iowa and come to Massachusetts and feel safe enough to go to the doctor and find a good
Mm,
provider because I hadn't had a PCP in a really long time.
mm,
And so when I went to Mass, I kind of was just searching um, by last names. I was like, I really hope that you are Hispanic at some point, or like
mm,
something.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, like in Massachusetts, they have a really great online database where like a lot of the Harvard graduates that have went to school, like they have their own like medical unit, and like they post their almost like their bios, and like I speak Spanish and all that stuff, which is great. I think that every website that has medical providers should say, I speak Spanish. Where do I come from? Cultural background, because it helps people connect with who it needs to for a medical provider. That's number one, because I think it's there's so many folks out there that don't have the medical care because they just don't feel like there's anyone to talk to. And I hear that a lot with my sister, which she's a gynecologist, and she's in her like starting her third year in residency, and she sees right the disparaging like differences in the communities that we serve. But when I searched for my doctor and I found her, she was more of like a plus size woman. She affirmed me in like my first time, like checked in with me because they do a really lengthy survey on like what you've done on your history. They knew immediately that I was a domestic violence survivor. They knew that I was on the LGBTQ side of things. They knew all of these things, and they served me better. And still to this day, she's my PCP. I love her to death. She is one of the people that like once I like ballooned up again in my weight, I came back to her and I said, well, I gained all the weight. And I feel like I'm not losing it again, right? And she was like, well, the last time you came in, you were X amount on the scale, and you're this amount. And she was like, you're great. You're fine. She was like, stop worrying. Like the scale is still going down. Whatever you're doing is correct. And I feel like I needed that assurance because I was so concerned, right? Because I had gone through this whole like 10-month phase, which like I dropped it in an unhealthy manner. And then I'm stressing here because I'm like, okay, I feel the need to go again because I went a whole year without working out because I had gotten migraine spells, which I'm still trying to figure out kind of the root of the cause with that. And that bedridden me for like almost a whole year. Like I only could have the energy to go to work and to survive. And so for me to have a PCP that really affirmed my care, affirmed what I needed, and said, what is it that you need and what plans do we need to have in like store for you? She's kind of one of the best providers that I've had, and I can only echo as much as possible, like find someone that will affirm your existence. Find someone who will literally just listen to your needs and not equate it to, you just need to lose weight, because that's BS, Aaliyah. That's not appropriate for someone to just assume that you're not an active person or that you don't lead an active lifestyle just because of your weight.
I agree.
Yeah.
You need a new PCP.
Yeah. I I was finna say, I have PCOS too. I found out I had PCOS when I was in ninth grade. Because I did not have a
Wow.
period for 6 months. And I was like, I was virgin, I wasn't sexually active, so I knew I wasn't pregnant. So when I went to the doctor, first of all, I'm in ninth grade. So I'm still a little child a little bit. I'm still trying to get wrap my head around high school. So when I went to the doctor, I had went to it was called Women's First. It's an all female, um it's a all female
Practice.
doctor. Yeah, it's practice, and she was so nice. She was just like, you have PC. She was like, from your symptoms, you sound like you have PCOS. She did like the ultrasound of everything. She was like, you do have cysts on your ovaries. She was like, you're first of all, I'm in ninth grade, so she was like, girl, I know you finna go look on internet. She was like, next time you come, just tell me your questions, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna go from there. But yeah, she was so good. She was so nice. Um, and for someone being that's having PCOS, I know like with people with PCOS, we have to. I've been doing a little bit more research now that I've gotten older, because I'm trying to be more in a healthier, trying to get a little bit more healthier, get more conscious about my health. So I know for like people with PCOS, we have to do like more low intensity. They were saying more low intensity
Yeah.
workouts to probably like see more results as far as like weight loss. So from you having PCOS, how like what is some advice like you would have for other people that have PCOS
Especially when
on
it comes to
Yeah.
working out.
yeah,
Yeah,
working
I
out.
think for working out, a lot of what triggers the PCOS, right? And I still am not the most adept in it. I'm still learning just as Aaliyah is, and I think that everything that I see is still new. And I also I have a great resource, right? Because I have the privilege of having an in-home doctor of my sister, and I try not to overuse her as a resource because I think that she deserves the break that she deserves because she works
Mhm.
at this full time and she doesn't need to be a doctor when she's with me. She's my sister when she's with me. And
Mhm.
so when it comes to PCOS, low intensity workouts, right? A lot of times we want to go to like high intensity interval training, which are like YMCA classes, or anything like that. Sometimes with our PCOS, we need low to lower that cortisone and like testosterone. And so a lot of the recommended things, which I need to do better because I do like being very active in the gym, but a lot of the recommended ones are kind of yoga to center yourself. They're slow, active movements. They're to like really train your core and your muscles. Um, a lot of weightlifting. A lot of PCOS girlies weightlift because it is really slow, intense
Mhm.
bursts of energy, and you're not really doing high burns. You're really focusing on that one workout at a time and really getting in tune with each muscle and connecting. And that allows the cortisone to like lower and make sure that everything is settled and not spike any insulin or anything like that. Cardio,
Mhm.
walking. Walking is your best friend. If anyone tells you that walking is not an accurate form of weight loss, they're lying to you. Walking is the easiest, whether you have a treadmill, whether you can walk outside, whatever the case may be, it is the easiest. If you have bought a walking pad, because there are 20 million ways that you can buy a walking pad now on TikTok. There's so many different ways that you can do workouts at home as well, because I know that so many of folks that are listening, right, might be gym shy. And I think that that's an accurate thing to say. You have 4 confident women right now on this podcast, and that's not to discredit folks that are listening that might still be working on their confidence level, on their self-love, on their body positivity, or their body neutrality. And I use body positivity and neutrality, like intermittently or like the same, because I think it's important that we are body positive and that we understand that it's okay to have different body sizes, but it's okay to not put value on a body. I think it's
Yes.
important, both standards. I think it's important that folks that have never been able to love their bodies allow some body positivity. I know that folks in the body neutrality community are tired of the positive movement, but I think it's really important for folks to allow people to get to that stage, to allow that positivity, to allow them to love themselves in the mirror and say, I love myself through and through, and now I don't have to put value on my body because I am the person that I am no matter what. And that's it. And so I think that if you are a person that is gym shy and is still trying to grow and still trying to become the person that you're listening to, or folks that you see on TikTok or anything like that, I think it's important to find online subscribers that you can do. I loved dancing to Fitness Marshall. I think he is the funnest. I think he's the best. There's so many categories. There's low burns, there's high burns, there's so many different ones. And if dancing is not for you, which I think is like the most fun to do while you're like home alone, or even like if you have kids, which I think that also if you are a mother that is kind of seeking like, what do I do to like give back to myself? Incorporate your kids, because I think it's so important. And I can't say that enough because obviously like I'm not a mom, so I don't know your everyday routine, but I think when you incorporate your children and are able to do those things, I think it's an easier way. But I don't say that I know everything about being a mother because that's a whole nother beast.
But
I
girl,
sorry, go
And
ahead, Leah.
sorry.
only thing I'm gonna say is when you said dancing, I just looked at my Wii and my Just Dance collection and was like, I go
Period.
ham on that every other day.
Exactly, as you should. And I think that it's important to find joy in our body movement. I think it's important to also note that if your body movement was only 20 minutes today, that's
You
okay.
still
It
move.
is okay. You still moved your body. And if your body movement was only your commute to work because you are on the train and that was your whole day and you came back exhausted, fantastic for you. That's okay too. Find the little wins in your day to make sure that you still feel motivated and consistent in your daily life.
As a former gym shy girly as well, I I feel like if you go in, even if it's like like fake confidence with a fuck off attitude, and you're there to focus on like what's happening in your own bubble, like lifting weights is truly what completely changed my body composition when I was working out, because I'm not like a big cardio girly. I actually fucking hate cardio to the core. So I would like go in and I would literally deadlift and I would do an entire like weight circuit, and I would go on the treadmill once my muscles were like activated and I was burning more calories at that point. I would go on the treadmill for like 15 to 30 minutes afterwards, and that was my workout, and that was it. And I wasn't
Yeah.
like running or like doing like intensity interval training. Like I wasn't doing all that stuff, and my entire body composition changed, and I felt stronger because it necessarily wasn't even about what I looked like. I felt like a strong ass bitch. I was still a big woman, but I felt strong as fuck. I was deadlifting 160 pounds. And at that point, when I finally like really got into the weightlifting, I wasn't paying attention to anything around me. I put a hat on and I focused and zoned in on like what I was doing for my body. And if people had things to say, they could say it over there if that was happening.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, when you go to the gym, most people are focusing on their own workout. And at least the gyms that I've gone to, a lot of people like understand that if you're going to the gym, you're doing something, you know?
Yeah.
And can I say this real quick? If you are somebody who is gym shy or has gym anxiety, Some advice, because there was a point where I was going to the gym with my brother and his wife. Perfect type of environment with people who actually go to the gym regularly. And then if you are thinking about a membership, go with these people who already have one and can include you in, and go get comfortable in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when you do, or if you want to go by yourself, you already have some kind of comfortability in knowing, like, the bathroom's here. I can go to the
Yeah.
bathroom when I first get in, get myself together. Then I'm gonna hit the cardio area of the treadmill, because that's what my routine was with my brother and his wife.
Yep.
So it's just about getting yourself comfortable, and, like, because I am kind of a girly who has anxiety in social settings sometimes, not necessarily because of, like, going to the gym. Getting that comfortability was a big thing for me. So it's like I could go there by myself. I started going to the pool every day. The pool was my workout. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So just get yourself comfortable, and you don't have to do everything at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Cause my first time going to the gym, like for real, was a couple months ago, and I first went to the gym. Girl, I don't think I knew how to work was that treadmill. So I would get
Period.
on the treadmill and I would just get
Yeah.
on the treadmill and
Yeah.
walk. Or if you have a rec center or something around y'all, go on the trail, walk the trail. That's a great
Yes.
workout as
It's
well.
such a good workout. And sometimes
And
that's all you need.
I
Yes.
feel like I burned more calories on that trail than I did in the gym.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah. But also, I have like a friend. She goes to the gym all the time. She like just came to the gym with me for like 10 minutes, and I was so shy, I was so scared because I want to ask the people on how to work the machines because I don't know how to work them. But she came in like for 10 minutes. She was just like showing me, okay, this is what you do on this machine.
Yeah.
This is what you
Yeah.
can do on this machine. This now I can go. Now I go into the gym like confident as hell. I
Exactly.
still don't know what I'm doing all the way, but I'm gonna do I'm gonna do what I know. But
Um.
And one other
Oh,
thing,
sorry. Go ahead.
sorry,
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because after
sorry,
you, I'm gonna ask the last question.
I was just about to get into that. So I was gonna say the other thing to make you feel more comfortable is wearing a killer outfit, right? Like,
Period.
once I know I feel cute, I don't care. I'm gonna go to the gym, to the store, just so you can see my killer outfit. So, Andy, what advice do you have for the girlies wanting to go to the gym cute, and what places do you recommend for, like, the gym outfits?
Period.
Ooh, that's a good question. I think wear what feels good. Number one, I think wear what feels good, because what may make me feel good might look too sexy for you, or it might look too holy for you because it has too many holes or has too much mesh.
Yeah.
Wear what makes you feel good, because if a large or an extra large or a 5XL super big t-shirt with gym shorts makes you feel good, that's okay. Everyone there is wearing their old raggedy high school or track and field shirt. They don't care. They come there to sweat, to grind, whatever the case may be. If you are still wearing makeup, don't let anyone shame you. I don't care if you're wearing makeup. I don't care if you have acne all over your face. Whatever you are, come as you are, come as your whole self, and don't be shy about it. It's okay to start off your gym journey with just knowing what the treadmill is, or just walking on the walk path around the YMCA inside, whatever the case may be, or even just walking inside the pool at a YMCA or whatever. I think it's important that you come as you are, know that you are worthy of being in that space, because no one says that you can't be there. No one. I think
Period.
number two, your outfit, it doesn't dictate who you are as a person. Whether you come bummy to the gym or you come all decked out, it does not describe you as a person or who you are out of the gym. Because you can come in a baggy shirt, shorts, and your big headphones and your hair all in a knot, and you could be modeling next weekend, and I would have not known it. That's the biggest
Period.
thing. So know that, like, there's so many different people that come to the gym, that are even just like, even the older community like comes in to like maintain their like selves, maintain community now that they're retired. I think it's a beautiful place to just get to know people. Like, once I got into the daily routine, I knew so many familiar faces that you feel like it's hard to make friendships, but like it's so easy once you have a common ground, a common thing to do. So I think that don't be scared, don't be shy, because someone in there has probably gone through the same experience as you. And maybe they'll tap your shoulder and be like, I was you 5 months ago, and I would love to just be like your gym buddy, or like I see you here every Tuesday, and like if you ever need anything, like I was that person when I saw new people. Like I just wanted to like compliment them and say like I love your outfit, even if it was just to say I love your outfit or I love your shoes, something like that, because I think a compliment serves so much so well. But I think also know your audience, right? Know your space. If someone has
Yes.
a big FU on their forehead, don't approach. But I
Exactly.
saw folks,
Right.
right, but I saw folks that were open to that. And I think that you just need to know your audience and know your folks, and reach out for help, because I think everyone will want to help each other out. But for outfits, I am a huge Savage X Fenty person. I shouted it out at the beginning. I'm shouting them out right now. Savage X, if you want me to model your clothes, I'm here. It's a
Period.
serious
Sponsor me,
thing
girl.
any day. Um, they did send me some pieces at a certain point, and I love them. It's literally one of the things that, if folks ask if is the monthly due appropriate or does it make it worth it, it does. Unless you really are scoping out the sales, but then like sometimes the sales don't have your size. So I think if you really want to be on top of like the prints, to be on top of like the drops and all that stuff, have that monthly fee, because I had Fabletics, and I'm sorry, Amber, but Fabletics didn't work for me because I know Yitty's a part of Fabletics.
Mm,
But Fabletics just didn't work for me because of my thighs to hip ratio. And so I ended up having a lot of gapping in my back, and then it was really tight on my thighs. So I think it's just comfortability, right? Because I think also Fabletics has amazing prints, and it works for a lot of people, and people love it. And I think that if you are willing to pay any type of monthly fee, I think Fabletics or Savage X Fenty are kind of your two go-to places for that monthly allowance that will allow you to have one new outfit per month. And I think that I also got some from Bow and Tea from Opali. Was really great quality pieces, that really made me feel strong and powerful. That was when I was in my smaller size, but I still know folks that still buy like their larger sizes and stuff. I know that they don't cater to like the super the bigger crowd, and which is really tough, because I think everyone should. It is the biggest demographic that we should be catering to, but I won't get on my high horse because we'll never stop
yeah.
talking about fashion and the industry and the clothing. But I think Savage X Fenty does such a great job with including prints that serve from the smallest size to the biggest size, and not feel excluded. So I think that that's the biggest one that I'll shout out. And it's the one that you'll probably see me wear the most. The other one that I wear a lot is Lisi Fit. They're a small women-owned brand in California. They do a lot of the scrunch butt leggings. Their quality, they're buttery, soft, smooth leggings. I mean, they feel like second skin. They only go up to a 2X, but they are very stretchy, so like you have to feel it out. They also have regular leggings if you're not into like the scrunch butt effect, but if you want to like heighten what you got, they're your girls. They are on the pricier side, but like for a small owned brand and being just two women that started it, I think I find importance to like buy clothes that will last a long time, that are staple pieces, and that I'm supporting brands that are women owned, POC owned. And I try to find BIPOC community like clothing if I can.
That's good. Don't drag me
Yeah.
for this, but Ford and Lane Bryant for the
I
pants,
was just
the,
finna say.
they
Yes.
actually, the material that they have, because we have thick thighs and they
Hmm.
rub together, but the material that they have is good quality. So,
Yes.
drag me, because I know
I
you like to
know,
drag, girl.
absolutely. Torrid's workout gear is top tier. I worked at Torrid for about like 6 months before I left Iowa, and honestly, like their quality is like amazing. They know what they're doing, obviously, like with the girls when you have to like wear them and tie them down to run, to do whatever workout you need. Um, And if you're someone that shops there frequently, like you'll find something there for sure.
Yeah. Period.
Yes. I just want to also, I am an extended plus girly. I'm a size 26, 28. So if you're a size 26, 28, or on the more extended sizes, I would definitely say Universal Standards is really good. They go from a size, I think, 00 to a size 40. So it's
That's
for
amazing.
Ooh,
everybody.
Really good.
So they really do have a lot of good things for everybody. They got stuff for athleisure, lounge, anything. So I would shout them out. And I also would have to say I wear Yitty sometimes. So I'm a Yitty ambassador as well. So I do Yitty. Daquana White is also a plus size influencer. She has the athleisure line, and her leggings is one of my favorite like leggings to wear, because for me I like to have my phone on my thigh, and it
Yeah.
has like a thigh pocket you can put your phone in.
Okay.
And the last one I want to shout out is Girlfriend Collective.
Okay.
They have good
Ooh.
pieces as well. But definitely
Hmm.
Universal Standards. Universal Standards is on the little pricier side, but it's
That's
high
amazing.
quality. And it
Double
goes
That's
up
zero.
to a
amazing.
40.
Period.
That should be the standard everywhere.
Okay. I live for that. Okay, well, we're getting to that time where it's time for our second game. And it's a
Ooh,
little something
exciting.
cute, a little
Period.
something sweet. It's not like crazy, it's just a quick little smash or pass.
Okay.
Love it.
So, I know we're all like plus size girlies. So smash or pass like stilettos. Like tiny little heels.
Pass.
Stiletto.
Pass.
Pumps. Smash.
If you would have said a
Smash?
platform, I would have had to say
Okay,
pass. I
let
mean,
me
smash.
say this. Smash to take pictures in. Smash to make a video in. Taking them off as soon as I'm done with that.
Okay,
I
period.
actually have these hills
Okay.
that like are the tiniest little hill, and I'm like probably gonna stumble
If
over
Okay.
one
it's a
day.
stiletto,
I
if
was
it's
about to
a
be
kitten,
concerned.
if it's a kitten, I can say yeah. If it's a little kit, I can say yeah.
No, this is like the tiny.
The
Nope.
6-inch heels. 6-inch heels.
First of all, I
Yeah.
know y'all remember that scene in White Chicks when when he was coming out, and he said, and he started breathing, and the pumps go down. That's just what I imagine for myself, and that's why
Literally,
I'm going. That's why I'm out.
Nah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I can't do them anymore. They're
I'm
too
gonna have to
much.
pass though. I can't do that shit. I cannot. I am comfort over everything. I'll wear sneakers with
Yes.
a dress. I
Yes.
can't.
for the plus size girlies though, because my New Year's resolution 2024 is to learn how to strut in heels.
Ooh,
Real
that's a
quick,
good resolution.
you need to go on Amazon and get the little I don't know what you call them, but the little pads that go on your heels.
Yep.
It makes it because I was always the people like it's not gonna make a difference. My feet gonna ache like they usually do. It does make a difference to
Okay,
last.
period.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna
And you
also
like to
say
last.
Torrid. I'm gonna say for shoes, if you are plus size,
Yes.
Torrid shoes, so good.
I've
It's
They
from
never
do a
tried
really
wide
good
it.
job.
width. And when I say I had a little, if I wish I could go get the little stiletto. It is a little stiletto heel, but it's from Torrid, and it
Yeah.
has padding in it, so
Mm.
your feet is comfortable. And
Ooh.
also like for Torrid, I don't know, they just had the sauce in
Yeah.
Torrid shoes is real good.
And it
So
has a
Yeah.
platform.
yeah,
Yeah. And
for some of them,
I will
yes.
say too, if you are shopping at Torrid, just because and don't know if they've changed it, but from my experience from working there, if you are shopping for shoes, some stores will not have it in store. So like make sure to
Hmm.
like possibly purchase it. You can always return it at the store and try it on while you're at the store and they'll do the exchange for you. But like
Okay.
buy it online because like the sizes that you might be looking for, which are like the extra wide or like the wide, because they sell a lot of like the wide calf shoes, or anything like that. Like if you're looking for shoes that are like meant for your like calves, legs, thighs, or anything like that, you might not find them in store. So like if you are going to shop because you heard it here from Aaliyia or anyone, I think just make sure to like online shop, which sucks, but you can always return it once you pick it up from the store because they can do free online like ship it to store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish Tor would pay me because I
Dang.
just gave them a little promo. I didn't. Why did I just
I
Baby,
do
know they need
that?
to pay you,
love
girl.
for it.
They need to run you your coin.
They
Torrid,
do.
where you at?
Um, smash or pass meal prepping?
Smash.
Smack.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna have
pass.
to pass.
I'm gonna say pass because it
Yeah,
was the epitome of probably my downfall. It's just I think I find eating the same food boring.
I can't do
I'm
it.
such yeah, I need something different. So I think I meal prep protein. I'll be okay with meal prepping protein. Like if I have
Yes,
like a basic like meat to like put to
like a
something like
chicken.
steak, chicken, shrimp, something that I can add to salads, a burrito, something like that, I
Yes,
think I'm good for. But if it's a whole meal where I'm
whole
like
meal.
rice, chicken, veggies, I'm exhausted by it day 2.
Yep, I
Mm-hmm.
feel
That's
the
why
And
I'm just
I
same.
think that that's important to know your
plant-based.
struggle if like you don't know if you are gonna like meal prepping or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I get off of work, I be ready to eat and then watch a little Godzilla or something. So I need, so I be ready just to pop it in the microwave. So that's it for me.
Yeah, I tried to meal prep in college, and I had like broccoli, quinoa, chicken in like containers. I'm
No,
telling you, that shit sucked my soul
the
out of my
downfall.
body. I can't. It's a soul sucking
Now I don't. I
experience
meal prep for like two, 3.
every
I
day.
meal for like 2 days. I do it like 2 days at a
Yeah,
time.
because I'm not a leftovers girly.
Yeah.
I'll get really so me saying smash
You
to
got
that was kind of
money.
like me wanting to be a meal prep girly because it sounds cute. But
It sounds
That
cute.
period. Um, smash or pass baby talk in relation.
what?
Pass. Ew.
What
No.
did you
Like
say?
your
Pass.
partner, like
Baby
baby talk in
talk.
relationships.
Like, Daddy, am I your baby?
Smash,
Ew,
smash.
that's
Smash.
so disgusting. Yeah. Like,
I don't wanna put my man out there, but it's okay. Like I don't know how to explain it, but you can be like, I don't know how to really go into it without it sounding weird, but smash.
you
Go
like
into
to
the
do Daddy, am I your
But not to an
baby?
extent where it gets weird. Like, no.
Okay, I'm also here's the thing. Not to do too much and put my relationship too much on blast. I'm also gonna say smash a little bit.
You kinky heifers. You kinky heifers. Y'all nasty.
See, I can't do the baby talk. See, I can do like the cartoony like funny voices at each other. Like, okay, but like I can't do baby. No.
It's like
Leave that for the
I'm not
nieces,
gonna
the
lie.
nephews.
First
It's
of
a little
all,
semblance. It's a little semblance of baby talk. Like it borders on
It
baby
almost
talk, and
crosses.
I love it.
I cannot
Yeah.
imagine myself.
I'm here
Oh my
for it.
God, Daddy, I just need to.
And that's why I didn't
Can I
understand
get a little? Can I
why was
just
he
get a
being
little
dragged? I
stuff?
was like,
And
No,
can
swear to
you just
God.
give me a little spending money for
Ew.
like,
yeah,
No,
No.
no.
It's not like that.
no.
Girl.
what is the
Over.
baby talk that you
I'm
talking
not
about
You have
then?
to be there.
infantilizing myself, okay? It's just a little.
Nah, I
It's
need to
a
be a
little
fly on the
sweet
wall.
talk. It's just a little sweet.
Aaliyah, when you get that man, your man,
Yeah.
and
You
he
you will be singing a different tune.
I don't think so, y'all.
You get lovey
Oh, we'll
dovey.
see. We'll see.
no, you
It's
get
just like
No.
a
really
little
like,
yeah.
because I'm like, oh, you're my baby, like you're my,
Yeah.
You're my sweet baby.
Yeah, yeah.
you're
Oh,
my.
I'm like almost
We're
right there with
seeing each
them, but
other
like
right
it's
now.
the
boo. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Yeah, maybe I'm just not a lovey-dovey person because
I was
that
just
does
gonna
not do.
say, I've never. Here's the thing. Never been like that. Met my man.
Ooh wee.
And he's like,
That's funny. Okay.
Oh Lord, that
Okay.
man gonna have to be sent from a multiverse for me because I don't know what. Oh Lord,
Smash or pass the clean girl aesthetic.
smash
pass.
real bad, smash
Okay.
pass.
real bad. I'm a steady girly. I
Pass.
love it.
Okay.
Look, skincare.
I love that for the girls who do that, but not for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
I'm not going to take it away from them. It's not that I hate it. It's just not for me. If I'm going to be clean girl,
Okay.
I literally have nothing on. It's okay. I'm going to have lotion on and Vaseline, and that's going to be my go-to, and we're good.
Okay. I
But
think
if I'm going to
if
put makeup on, you're going to see it.
I'm a neutral
Period.
girl. I'll smash and I'll pass because
Mm-hmm.
some days I want to smash and some days I really just want to be in my clean girl aesthetic and other days I want to pass hard as fuck.
Exactly.
Sometimes I want to give 2016 makeup, and then sometimes I just want to give what I'm giving now, just
Hmm.
clear, just clean.
Aaliyah, you give clean girl. You give like aesthetic energy.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
want to
Yes.
give that so bad, but
you do.
I
You're
want to give
giving
that so
radiant
bad.
today, period.
Yeah.
Period.
Period.
Maybe it's that
Her
hot honey
background is
mustard
clean. You see like the
Zaxby's I eat.
wall decoration. It's giving that.
Yes, this is what I like to call my boho ho ho aesthetic.
When I had longer hair and I did like a slick back bun and like some cute
Oh,
little athleisure with like my little cup, I felt very clean girl and I was like, okay,
Mhm.
Period.
I'm
girl,
kind of
I almost
getting this.
levitated.
But like within the next couple of days, I was wearing like grunge makeup
Yeah,
and
it's about.
chains. So I want to smash it when I want to smash. We're
Yep.
fuck buddies, and I only want to smash it
Period.
in one.
I'm sorry, did you say we're
We're
fuck
fuck buddies,
buddies?
she said.
Yeah,
She did
and
say
I
that.
only want to smash when I want to smash. Like if I call clean girl up and I'm trying to smash, she can come through. But if
Come to
I'm
the
not, she
dough.
can stay in her lane.
You know what's crazy? I was
Okay,
thinking about
Amber.
doing a little. I was thinking about doing a day in my life, a day in my not so aesthetic life. That would have been
Period.
Oh,
cute
that's a
You
good video.
should.
That actually is a really good video.
because baby, I'm a clumsy. It's all
Same.
good until I'm on the floor.
Me
Okay,
too.
I have
I'm just looking
I
at
have
bruises
one
that I
more.
have because I'm like, "Ooh."
Oh, I feel that. I get bruises walking into things all the time, and I don't even
Yep.
remember. I don't even know where they come from.
No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
these legs are black.
Okay, I have one more smasher pass,
Okay.
and this I'm gonna explain this a little bit, but like lipstick, like actual lipstick, like a red
Without the
lip or
gloss,
a purple lip, like one of those like actual like a stick. You know what I'm saying? Like a lipstick
without the gloss,
without the gloss.
Nope. Pass.
I'll smash
My
that.
Nah.
lip glosses on my friends.
I'll smash that because I miss the little matte, the matte lip aesthetic a little bit. I kind of miss that. That was a good time in makeup.
I'm gonna smash because I do love a good matte lip, but only for a certain amount of time. Like by the time, like after like 2 or 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, I'm trying to take that hoe off.
Right.
Yeah.
Once it fades, I'm like, a gloss will do.
A
I'm
boop,
good.
a boop.
Hmm.
And also
Hmm.
like when it gets on your teeth,
Oh, the
I
Mhm.
feel
worst.
like when I'm wearing matte lipstick, I feel like I'm constantly
All right,
like
LL
licking
Cool J.
Okay. She went away.
All right, y'all. So we getting to the end of the episode, and we have just one more segment. We're gonna do this real quick.
yeah,
It's
quick,
called
quick.
TikTok Takes. Is where we just talk about things that's been popping on TikTok, and we're gonna talk about. I just want to know, since we have Andy here and she's on TikTok as well, what
Mm-hmm.
is your opinion about this VSG epidemic that's going on? That all of the creators are all of the majority of the a lot of the plus creators are either getting VSG or some type of weight loss
Oh,
surgery. What is your opinion and view on that?
Yeah, I think once I had started the weight loss surgery and because I was losing the weight rapidly, a lot of folks were assigning that title on me that I had had that surgery or something like that, which I want to make clear I never have had that surgery. The only surgical procedure that I have ever had done was to get my appendix removed.
Oh, period.
So,
Okay.
and I would never want to like go undergo a procedure. After going through the appendix removal, it's so terrifying an experience to like just get a surgery done that
Yeah.
an elected surgery is really a hard and difficult process for anyone to go to. I think it's I think anyone going through it shouldn't be taken lightly, number one, because it changes like your whole routine, your whole um I mean, it changes everything, right? I mean, I see so many people that are just like, I'm here year 3 and I'm still eating this portion, or I'm still repulsed by X, Y, and Z and all that stuff. And right, I don't want to get into it because I don't know the ins and outs of the surgery, but I do know that there are a lot of people that use it because it's their last resort, right? And I think that it's understandable, and we have to understand that we have to give grace to folks that are electing to do the surgery, because it is life-saving for some folks, right? We don't know, because we aren't their providers, we aren't their medical providers, and we hope that they have providers like myself, and not like Aaliyah's, that their first choice of words for encouragement is, you need to lose weight, right? And so I think my hot take is, know your team that is your provider, that is your support with your health, with that journey that will encompass the rest of your life. Know that whatever actions you decide to take, they are your sole actions, and that's okay. And I think whatever actions you do take for weight loss, if it is for the right reasons, understand that there should be some healing beforehand. What is the root of that weight loss coming from? Because if it's not from a healthy standpoint, or if it's not because it's life-saving procedure because you need it, X, Y, and Z, then you're not doing it for the right reasons. If it's solely for aesthetic, there needs to be some work done. You need to learn how to love your body as is, because if you are doing it at age 20, you still haven't had kids. If you don't want kids, great. But if you still have not had kids and you are at like changing your body completely, and your body will change after maternity. It will change after you stop developing, because there are times that you are still developing. There's so many things that change. And I think that if you are still in that healing journey and you are listening to this and you're contemplating these things, I read 2 books that really altered my experience as newly gained the weight back. The 2 books are Weightless by Yvette Dion, which she talks about her experience about being a plus size woman, but also having a heart condition, and her experience about just existing from her collegiate time to a professional to her dating lifestyle. I think was really important. And then the second book is The Body Is Not an Apology, which is The Power of Radical Self-Love, which was a lot of unlearning about how so many spaces are ableist, about how trains aren't adapted for folks that are living in bigger bodies, about how so many different things. I mean, like, there's so much like gems in that book, and it's such a tiny book. I mean, like, really please like support Sonia Renee Taylor in that book, and she has a workbook attached to that book as well. I haven't purchased the workbook, but I mean, just solely on that book, it was so important and crucial to my learning and to also my unlearning. I think it's really important. Learning and unlearning. There's a lot of unlearning to do from the trauma that we have had throughout our entire existence and our trauma, and then the learning that we have to do to let go of those ideas and to arrive to a destination of, what does health look like to me, and do I need to seek out help? If that is the case, then follow the directions of your practitioner and do what is healthy for you.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
perfectly said.
Right. Agreed. I'm about to say, I just, with this VSG epidemic, I feel like my take on it is, I feel like you should do whatever you want to do and whatever you feel like is best for you. I feel like my over the past couple of years, my stance has changed, because I've had people that has been close to me that have had the surgery, and seeing them and all that stuff. So I just feel like do whatever is going to be best for you. But I also feel like before you even do the surgery, I really want people to do the work, as far as, let's go ahead, because at the end of the day, the surgery is a tool to help you. You need to have changed behaviors before doing the
Yes.
surgery, because if you don't, you're going to go right back to you're going to
Yep.
Yeah,
revert back to the old
that's
so
exactly it.
Yep. And it can be even more dangerous that way because now they've taken so much of like your stomach. So like going back to that is like
Right.
sometimes potentially even more
Yeah.
dangerous, and like
Yeah.
just a
Like the
surgery
stomach
in
is still a
general
muscle.
that
It'll
like
still grow.
it'll still grow, but it's like it can be not good for you to do that. So it's just like
Yeah.
consider all of your behaviors, and like you said, consider all of your behaviors and consider all of your options before you choose something that has to be drastic, especially if it's like not something that you need in order to like be okay.
And
Yeah.
just to piggyback off that real quick, my I've had two people in my life do the surgery that I'm really close with. My mom is one of those people. She there's I think there's two types of surgeries. Like you can do the sleeve, is what she got, and then there's like the gastric
Mm-hmm.
section, which is a little bit more. They take out more.
Mm.
Yeah.
She got the sleeve, but her for for her doing that, it was because it was at a point like you already talked about. It was a health thing, so
Yep.
she wanted, and like she was telling us, she wanted to be around to, be around for her kids, for her husband. She
Yes.
also wanted. There's things she wants to experience, and I think as plus size people, when it comes to weight loss, because I think we were just talking about this the other day, getting ready for this episode.
Yep.
When it comes to weight loss in general, we have to be very careful about how we treat it, um, especially when it's geared towards other people. Now, when it's yourself, you can talk about it the way you want to, et
Yeah.
cetera, et cetera. But when
Yeah.
it's geared towards other people, even if we don't, even if we don't see that maybe weight loss surgery is like accepted for us, or
Mm-hmm.
even just losing weight in general, like I said, we have to be very careful how we talk about it because, like we already talked about earlier, people have things going on in their life
Yep.
that you just don't know about. For instance, me, it was triggering. I know Amber is telling me, "Hey, it's triggering for you to talk about weight loss sometimes. People saying you're skinny, etc." So be careful because some people really need that
Yep.
so it can heal them.
Yep.
There's another
Yeah.
person in my life really quickly. She just wanted weight loss surgery, even if I didn't agree, because she wasn't used to being plus size, and in her mind, it was she was going through so much turmoil
Mm-hmm.
because she just wasn't accepting it, and that's
Yeah.
okay. So she wanted to do the weight loss surgery,
Yeah.
and for me to tell her, hey, I think this as a friend you should, but after a certain point, you have to really just be careful about how you talk about certain topics. So
I think as
Yeah.
long as people understand like the true pros and cons, like as long as you understand
Yeah.
the health aspect, like the benefits and the potential dangers of the
Right.
surgery, as long as you're well informed and then continue to make that decision, then perfect. But I've seen and I know of a couple of people that weren't as well informed about it and went into it and then ended up either back in the same situation or back in the hospital
Yeah.
because of things that went wrong because they weren't as informed about it as they could have been before they did it. So it ended up causing more issues for them
Yeah.
than say had they not done it. So I just think really what it comes down to is the importance of truly doing your research and truly being informed and having good doctors that are giving you all the information that you need in order to be able to get the surgery safely and go through the
Yes.
recovery process safely as well.
Yeah, because that
Yeah.
aftercare after the surgery is important because
Is
Yes.
some people don't realize like after that surgery you have to have a certain amount of protein, and if you don't, you might have hair loss, you might have other side effects that happen.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's really important just to y- I feel like, especially like some people want to go, like I understand, like go overseas or something so it can get faster, and in the
Right.
US I feel like you have to go through
they can
more.
take out more overseas.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
in the US, I think in the US you have to go through, like, I think you have to go through therapy, and then
Yep.
maybe like you have to lose a certain amount of weight before they approve you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I understand like some people want to do like the faster way, but honestly I feel like those steps are there to help you, not to hurt you. They're
A hundred
there
percent.
to help you be like, okay, is this something? Because once you get into that weight loss, the working out, that that whole little thing, you might change. You be like, dang, I could do this on my own.
Yeah,
So I feel like it's important to just do those steps, do therapy, because sometimes it's like we might have some stuff that like mentally that is going on, and we
yeah.
just need like
Yeah.
help just mentally. So
Yeah.
I will say also my last thing about this is like the only thing and the only reason I have a certain issue with certain aspects of it is like the people that get the surgery and then lie and then say that they did
Yes.
it naturally, which can
Yeah.
make other people that are seeing them like lose all
Struggle
this
even
weight
more.
and get to this like point and like they're saying like, oh, like I went to the gym and I ate this and I did this, but really
Yeah.
they got the gastric sleeve or they got the gastric bypass. It's like creating even more unhealthy thoughts in just like a general public because they're seeing these people like significantly and drastically lose weight and like post gym content and doing all that stuff when it's like that's a part of it, but
Yeah.
also a really big part of it was this procedure that you got that it sometimes comes off like a little bit misleading because it wasn't 100% like you did this naturally. There was like bariatric surgery involved. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think being honest about it is so important so that people don't think like, oh, I can achieve this in 6 months doing it the healthy way, and then they get discouraged doing it the healthy
Right.
way because they're not seeing the results. Yeah.
period. I hope you guys. Wait a minute, that was loud, girl. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Big Girl Big World. We are so happy that we got to talk to Andy on this episode. Make
Thank
sure
y'all
you
for
follow
having
her.
me.
Thank
Period. Make sure you follow her on all of her social medias. Like, where can we follow you? Where can we find you?
I'm mostly active on TikTok, which is Andrea Labori, AndreaLabori. And then on my Instagram, if you want to follow me there, it's Andy, Andiey, Rivera, Rivera.
Period. And you already know mine is underscore a beauty 4 on TikTok and Instagram, and Aaliyia Beauty on YouTube.
And I am Amber Rose with 3 R's and a Z on Instagram and Great Value Amber Rose on TikTok.
And I'm just Jerrin_Nicole.
And period. We'll see you guys in the next episode. We love y'all. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Aaliyia Beauty. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you guys next week with another episode. And that's on period.